Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris here. Welcome to my Blu-ray pickups update where I show you guys what I got from this past week. Starting things off from the master of horror himself, and that is the Vincent Price Collection Volume 1, which is basically the most sought-after Scream Factory release there is, and heck, even in Blu-ray releases alone. And unfortunately, this went out of print a number of years ago, and yeah, and just pretty much sucks because I wanted this from the day it came out, but I held back. I'm like, I'll get it eventually, but had no idea this thing was going to go out of print a number of years ago. But luckily for me, I was able to snag a copy recently from a little old lady on a motorized cart. I'm just joking, that didn't happen, but luckily for me, I was able to finally grab a copy. And I want to talk a bit about the whole Scream Factory issue with the set going out of print. I have a feeling, at least in my opinion, that Scream Factory knew exactly when this set was going to go out of print, but they held back by not letting the public know about it. And, they wanted to release the set anyway for that short amount of time and sell as many copies as they can. And then at the last minute, let the public know by saying, oh, the contract or the licensing didn't fall through with the studio. This set's going out of print. Grab it as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. It just doesn't seem right to me because if you're signing a contract, you have to know exactly how long you're going to have the rights for that film. Like, for example, Twilight Time, they released certain films for limited edition sets of 3,000 to 5,000 copies. And once it's sold, it's sold. Then they can contact the studio and, renew their license if the studio agrees with them. But yeah, so I have a feeling that Scream Factory knew. They just held back. They didn't want the public to know about it for whatever the case may be, and just sell as many copies as they can, and then come out with volumes 2 and 3 later on. But anyway, love this set. I would say the Masque of the Red Death is a crown jewel of this collection, although I do love the other ones as well, like the Fall of the House of Usher and the very underrated Haunted Palace. Always love the Haunted Palace, and Vincent Price plays that character where he's reincarnated and comes back to that town. Really great film. So if you don't have this in your collection yet, I would recommend you to look on eBay. Hopefully there's somebody out there that doesn't know this went out of print and they might list it for a really low price, and you can grab it from there. But then again, if you have a Vincent Price movie collection, it's really hard to get rid of. He was really a fantastic actor, and his performances, his demeanor, his voice, really unique voice that still stands the test of time for many generations to come. I mean, people probably hundreds of years down the line will look back and say, man, Vincent Price, man, that guy was something else. And he really was, man. He was not only a great actor, but he was a great human being in real life. Great family man. He was a well-known chef, great cook, and also an art collector. Really nice guy. And here's a quick look at the back. And The Pit and the Pendulum, another great film. But love this release, man. So I'm just really happy to finally own this one, and so many special features with this release. You get introductions by Vincent Price himself. He talks before the film begins and after the credits. He has some closing statements, and that was originally recorded back in 1982 for PBS Iowa. So I'm really glad that Scream Factory decided to put that in, thanks to also Victoria Price, the daughter of Vincent Price, of course. Here's a quick look at the booklet as well. Nice poster arts, classic original poster artwork from the release of the films. Such a fun set, man. Really beautiful set. And here's a quick look at the discs as well. So, of course, it's a 4-disc set, so you get 2 movies on disc 1, 2 movies on disc 2, and the movies are by itself on disc 3 and 4. This week, I also ended up getting The Comedian, which stars Robert De Niro, Leslie Mann, and Danny DeVito. Also co-stars Harvey Keitel. I'm a huge fan of the cast, especially De Niro and Danny DeVito, so looking forward to this one. I heard it got mixed reviews, but I was pretty bummed about this release because it's a burn-on-demand release on Blu-ray. So keep in mind, if you pick this up on Blu-ray, it's a burn-on-demand. I guess only the DVD is officially pressed, but not for this one because I guess it didn't do too well in theaters. But nonetheless, it still should be fun since the cast is great. So yeah, this is what the disc looks like. And if you're not sure what burn-on-demand is, it's basically not an officially pressed disc from the studio. It's, once you order it, that's when they make it. So you get that burn marking on the bottom there. So yeah, just keep in mind. But I got this for around $18. So I guess it's not that bad because, usually Sony releases certain releases that they put on Blu-ray as burn on demand. It goes a bit more higher, like $22, $23. But Opening week, 18 bucks. I guess I shouldn't complain, but nonetheless, should be a fun film to check out. And next up is Twilight Time's release of The Big Key, which is the encore release, because the original release of this film was pretty much bare bones. It only contained the isolated score track and theatrical trailer. But this re-release has a lot of good stuff. You get a discussion with the director Michael Mann, as well as Martin Scorsese, plus a great commentary track, and of course the isolated score track and trailers also included. But yeah, and the cover art, of course, is different. The first release had this cover art, which is nice. I like it. But I don't mind the coffee pot, too, because we get the original cover art here as a booklet, so that's pretty cool. And you get some nice artwork behind here, too. So, yeah, this is considered to be one of the great film noir movies. And next is a childhood favorite of mine. I used to watch this all the time back in the 90s, and that is My Father the Hero, starring Gerard Depardieu and Katherine Heigl, very young Katherine Heigl. And I got this for $4, and it's released by Mill Creek, so you know what that means. It's bare bones. But it's a fun movie, you know? One of those films you don't take seriously, you just enjoy it for what it is. And for these next releases, I've done full reviews for them on my channel, so you can definitely look there for more info. Got the 45th anniversary editions of The Godfather, re-release editions. They're basically the Coppola discs, so if you have the Coppola collection and you don't care for new artwork, then there's obviously no reason to pick this up. But I recently came across an excellent Q&A celebrating the 45th anniversary of The Godfather, you know, with the cast. Francis Ford Coppola was there, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and of course Robert Duvall, James Caan. So if you want to check it out, it's a pretty long Q&A. It's almost like an hour and a half. On YouTube, if you type in The Godfather 45th Anniversary, it should be the first or second video. And of course, a third film is released as well, but these are the ones that are the top of the peak, you know what I mean, as far as movies are concerned, and the best gangster pictures ever made. And next, I got Vin Diesel back again for Triple X, Return of Xander Cage. And I thought this was a fun film, just mindless action. Don't watch it for the story, because there really isn't much of a story. It's just another reason to put some action scenes together and call it a movie. But excellent looking presentation for this 4K release. So if you're considering 4K, definitely pick it up for this film, because it really does look beautiful. And finally, I got the Kiju Yoshida box set released by Arrow Academy in the U.S. And this is a set of 3 Japanese films produced back in the 60s, and quite bizarre movies, but nonetheless, they were fun to watch. The cinematography is excellent, and in certain aspects, as I mentioned when I did the full review for this on my channel, yeah, in certain aspects, it feels like you're watching in the realm of the senses, which is a very sexual film. So you do get quite a bundle of nude scenes with this release, and you get a booklet. Decent amount of special features, commentaries, introductions, and whatnot. So thanks for taking a look, guys. And I would definitely consider the Vincent Price collection to be the crown jewel this week of my pickups. And I got a bunch of other stuff that are going to come in soon. So look out for my next update on those. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.